mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous...
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
A very beautiful morning to you and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM this lovely morning. Today being the 4th day in the month of October in the year 2025. Wherever you are listening to us from and whatever you may be doing, it's always a pleasure to engage you this very beautiful morning, and we'll be taking a look at some of the statements and posts you've made on our social media handle. We encourage you to go to our social media handle on Facebook or Udala 104.7 FM, on YouTube or Udala Radio 104.7 FM, and you can also do so on X. So we are going to engage you via our social media handle, and remember, we speak the truth on this very platform, and we uphold the truth and we preserve the truth. We call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. That's more reason we say not this veritas, and not this iudisim veritas, and not this vivica cabit veritas, and not this lingolum, and not this contra lingonum. You are welcome, and it's a pleasure to welcome you. For those of you who are listening to us from outside the shores of Nigeria, remember, it is 9 minutes or 6 minutes than the hour of 9 a.m. here in Nigeria, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 8 a.m. in Ghana, 6 minutes than the hour of 5 p.m. in Tokyo, Japan, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 4 p.m. in China, and also 6 minutes than the hour of 9 a.m. in London, and 6 minutes than the hour of 9 p.m. in Auckland. And for those of you in Johannesburg, South Africa, 7 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. And also for those who are in Texas, 7 minutes than the hour of 3 a.m. in Texas, and then 7 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. in Denmark, and also Amsterdam. Not forgetting Dubai, 7 minutes than the hour of 12 noon in Dubai, and then 7 minutes than the hour of 11 a.m. in Jerusalem. That's to tell you that we are everywhere in the world. From wherever you are, you can always get us, and it's always a pleasure to have you. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki, the Honorable Speaker, and this morning we have a guest. We are going to have two guests as usual, but we are going to start with our first guest this very morning. We have in our studio Professor Zelunjo Igweze, Professor of Pharmacology and Toxicology and Director of Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Professor Zelunjo Igweze. It's my pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, our listeners from wherever you are.
It's also good to know that you came so early and you were here about an hour before the time. Mm-hmm. And that tells you what women can do when they are given and they're trusted with power. And you agree with me on that?
Absolutely.
All right, let's quickly move on. I remember the last time you were here, if I could remember very well, you were here sometime around June 28th. That was the last time you were here. And we spoke extensively on the issue of women, children, and what have you. And I still remember vividly some of your statements the last time you came here on Crossfire to promote the candidacy of your principal. I don't know if anything has changed between then and now. Has anything changed? Or your advocacy is even getting more stronger and stronger? What do you think?
Thank you very much. Our advocacy is getting stronger and stronger, and we're making it clearer to the populace what John Nwosu will bring to the table. So whatever was stated here, we're trying to expand it. We're trying to make it, abridge it, so that the person on the street can understand what we're saying. Everything.
You stand for the women, you stand for the children.
I stand for everybody. I have a husband, I have brothers, I have sons.
But you speak more about women and children compared to men. You don't speak much about men. You speak more about women and children. And you know, being a professor, you know what that means.
I also speak for the men, but women are a demographic that is usually disadvantaged.
Okay.
Let me tell you, any society that suppresses their women is always the least developed. Check it anywhere. Anyway.
So is our society suppressing women?
They don't have the maximum and they have the capacity. Let me give you an instance.
Okay.
Not only in our state, it's everywhere. The third world country are still coming. I'm not talking about DEI, where you give women position because they're women.
Okay.
You give women position because they're qualified and they're capable. How many women commissioners do you have in the state? One. And usually the default ministry. It is absolutely wrong.
We have in Anambra State Professor Sylvia Chika Ifejeme, who is a commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state. Is that not a prominent position for women?
It is. My late sister was one time an Attorney General of the state.
Okay.
So women, now what I'm saying is that we have a program. We have a program in an organization, the John Nwosu Campaign Organization.
Okay.
Women will get at least minimum 40%.
40%?
And you know, we come from a state. This is the prime state in Nigeria. We have a lot of qualified women who can put in their best. You made a comment when you came here that when you hand things over to women, things begin to work. I don't want to talk about some women we know in this state who have done so much for their communities, for their people. They're all women. I'm not saying men are not doing, but if, for instance, you give women 40 and men 60, you know things will be moving better than we have it today. So
if you are to extrapolate, if John Nwosu becomes the governor, do you think that these 40% affirmation for women will be effected 100%?
Absolutely, and more. John is somebody who believes in getting the best. If you look at Rwanda, maybe because of their civil war, genocide circumstance, they have more women in the parliament than you have men. Things are working very well in Rwanda. Will you agree with me? It's one of
we have had women in position in Nigeria. They're disappointed. And I can go on and list about 5 of them that are disappointed in different positions.
Exception does not invalidate a general rule. I can also tell you 1,000 men that are still disappointed or have disappointed. That you have one single woman. I don't know the population variation in Nigeria, how many women. You have one woman out of a senate of 109. I'm giving you an who misbehaves, and you begin to take it on all the women. No, it's not proper. You can't judge us by that. I can tell you, can I reel off the number of men who have disappointed us here?
You don't need to. Okay, because the idea is we are not reeling out any start.
Okay, so women are doing well and they will do better. And I told you, we don't want affirmation or DEI. Give women the position because they are qualified.
That's what you're campaigning for.
Absolutely. Until they disappoint you, you can switch them, but not because they're women.
Okay, are you aware that yesterday the Church of England Anglican Communion appointed Sarah Mulaili as the Archbishop of Canterbury, the head of Church of England? And I've gone through her profile, knowing very well that she was born sometime around 26th of March 1962, and at the point she had been in the House of Lords. And surprisingly, do you think that is part of your advocacy?
I don't. I'm not in England. I'm not in the UK. And you didn't get. There's another statistic that it was after 1,400 years of the existence of the Anglican Communion.
Okay.
And if you read our history very well.
Oh, you're an Anglican?
Absolutely, I am.
So
I am one.
A woman is your head of church. But you remember, Church of Nigeria is different from Church of England.
That's what I want to tell you. Let's forget about that politics of England.
Okay.
You know, we have almost severed ourselves from Church of England. You are very aware of it. You are aware. So let's forget about that one. I wish her all the best.
Okay.
That might be what is good for her culture. Even here, we don't have Anglican priests who are women.
Okay.
So let's not. It's going to take quite some time.
All right. Let's quickly move into some programs John Wosu has for the people of Anambra State. You know, when I was actually moving down, coming in, because I've been here for quite a long time, even before you came, and then I saw the branded vehicle, Anambra Shake. You know, that is it. What does that mean? Is Anambra not Shakena at this point?
Tony, we're Anambra people.
Okay.
I told you we're the prime people in this country.
Okay.
Take it or leave it. I pride myself as somebody from Anambra State. We know we are better than what we are now. That is what it means. That Chake is that what we're doing as people who are regarded as the prime is not up to what we are supposed to be. We're not where we're supposed to be.
In terms of what?
Everything.
You have to contextualize it.
Everything.
If you say everything,
development, education, health, economy. If you take them one by one, we're not where we're supposed to be. They say that Anambra has the largest number of millionaires and billionaires. You know what is happening in Lagos today? If you take the statistics of all those houses, they're all from Anambra. If we want, we can go into that.
So what do you think John Wosu can do to tap into that area? What do you think he can do?
Let me tell you one thing. If a society does not have industry, don't count yourself. You don't depend on industries. You don't.
We have the climate. We have the dictators, the IPOB, the ESN. We have these people here. And look at LPs the other day. He was saying that he couldn't afford. He couldn't even get a land for his maintenance and service center, and that was how he moved to Lagos. And that's just what he said.
Okay. There might be other reasons, but let me tell you, Tony.
Okay.
My age, I've lived in this state. I went to school, secondary school here. I went to university in the former Anambra State. I'm a lioness.
Oh, okay.
So I know the state. Insecurity was something that came upon us. We're not going to live like this forever. That's part of the reason why we're into this. John Wosu will do to, when you solve the problem of insecurity, from where it is, you won't get it 100% the first day. You might not get it 100% but let's get it to a minimum that we can move about, that investors will have confidence to come to Anambra State.
So how is he going to do that? Because we know very well, the last time I asked, would he negotiate with IPOB? Would he negotiate with the ESN? Would he do all those things? There have been thoughts and thoughts about this development, and then Nnamdi Kanu is being held, and then he's not the one holding Nnamdi Kanu. I listened to Lex Oti yesterday when he said that he's committed to ensure the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But the question is, when would that be? It's taking longer than expected.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I actually feel very bad. Let's not go into the politics of who is holding Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
It's rest on us who are from this ethnic extraction.
Okay.
If we want to get him out today, we can. That is the unity we are talking about. It is not anybody. The ECN, whatever, any amount of, You know, you have the kinetic and non-kinetic means of tackling insecurity.
Oh, yeah.
You have to bring all of them together. If, for instance, you know, when he uses artificial intelligence enabled programs, you get these things. If I know that a drone is going to circling and is detecting where we are with infrared rays, some of them will not want to be there.
How will they know that these things are happening? Do you think they care about these things? Or they are so much concerned about who is going to fix them and they will open fire on whoever comes to fix them?
No. Mbeki, if you have dealt with criminals, you find out that if there are 12, 2 are only the kingpins, the ones that will have the lion heart. Okay. The other one were quacks, out of either peer pressure or if it is within their means, they will leave the area.
Okay.
So those ones, if you remember when Anini and Osumbo were terrorizing Nigeria, when both of them were kinetically disengaged, so much of the armed robbery went down. They were the ones that led the bank robberies and everything. Where did their gangmen get? They fizzled out. So what I'm saying is that the AI, artificial intelligence enabled programs will help us know where they are. John has said this thing over and over. He's not talking about it. He's not just saying it because he has seen it done in other states. Enugu State, Mba is doing it.
Mba is doing it, and we had attacks a few days ago or a few weeks ago where a Reverend Father was killed, Reverend Father Matu Eya, and where the residence of the DIG, Deputy Inspector of Police, was attacked, and the police officer carrying the resident was also killed. And then with all those Mba control room and all the sophisticated technology, these things happened. And they cannot even go to Iyamufu. There are places you cannot go to in Enugu State as we speak now.
Tony, what I said is this. Even the United States of America, you know their level of sophistication.
Okay.
Killings still go. Homicide, what do they call it? Mass shootings, they still go on. But each time some of this thing happens, you come back, you look at where you had your lapses, you breach it up. So, like you said, even if we do the security in Anambra, they'll still kill people. There'll still be homicide. But what I'm calling to you, reduce it to a level. Now, if you go to certain, there's no part of this country, but you can go to some parts of the northern state because it is almost 99%. We are talking about limiting it to the barest minimum and gradually.
And then using technology?
Technology.
Using drone, that's what you said.
Absolutely. You have a control center.
Are you going to deploy that to police? Are you going to allow police to do that? Or are you going to do it on your own by the time John Wosu comes on?
The issue of a control center is not really, you might get some police people to be seconded to the centers.
Okay.
While you have people who are master ICT people who can read, see something on the screen and tell you that this is what the red light is saying, this is what the green light is saying. And you phone from there. People can even call you and tell you. Then from there you dispatch. You call the people who are maybe stationed in 33. The thing is nearer to 33 or is in Sube, and you go. So this is what abroad they have it.
Oh, they have it abroad. I know you have traveled extensively.
I do. My academics have taken me to. So I've been to so many countries where I worked as an academic scholar, research scholar. So I know. I also travel on my own. So professors are not.
Does it mean? I want to ask you this. I don't know if you have had some discussion with John Wosu. Is John was trying to tell us that if he comes on, that every nook and cranny in Anambra State will be equipped with CCTV camera, so that whatever happens, these things can be seen and how it happened. Remember, some cameras come with flashlights at night, some do not come. So what kind of camera is he going to provide? Where is he going to source the money for the cameras? Is he going to do that? Because cameras is more like reactive mechanism and also preventive. Knowing fully well that you have a camera, it will also deter some of these criminals from engaging or doing some certain things. But the question is he committed to providing some of these? When we talk about technology, it's generic. We want to be specific. What kind of technology? What kind of infrastructure in terms of technology is he bringing on board?
Thank you very much. When we talk about these technologies and the financial implications, people think it's something undoable. If I tell you that we know, Tony, the embezzlement, the corruption can keep if you remove corruption, we can use our money to do so many things. You might not put all the cameras on the streets of Onitsha and Oka in one day, but you graduate it. How much does cameras? If you go to some houses, they have up to 10 cameras in the house. They have 15. Businesses have camera. So gradually, we put the cameras in the places, the entrances. He has said it. The entrances and the exits of the state, you man it. You man the places that are very vulnerable to crimes. Then you continue from that. We have the security vote. These things can do a lot for a state. We don't need to talk about what it entails, but if we have prudent management, an open government that is not corruptible, then we can use our funds genuinely. That is what we know we can do. So when they say, how will he do it? They are AI-powered cameras. Those are the modern things now. We're not talking about the analog type of cameras, where you facial recognition. And again, when John talks about facial recognition, don't forget that in your NIN, national identification number, your photograph is there. And if everybody in Anambra is compelled to do their NIN and help them register, what it means is that everybody's face will be inputted into this camera, that anywhere you are, once your face appears, they know who is there. Because when you go for NIN capture, it is you. You don't do that by proxy. That's what I'm saying. So these things are not things you do in one day. They bring all the cameras and put. People who are experts will sit down and say, this is our hot spots for now. For the first 2 months, for the first 4 months, for the first 6 months. Then we continue from there.
So you're saying it's doable?
Absolutely. With the amount of money Anambra is an oil producing country. We have money.
You have money?
Absolutely. We do.
If I asked you now how much do we have, will you be able to tell me how much we have?
How much we have?
Yes.
At least we get about 11.5 billion from oil revenue. And then
from
IGR
to federal allocation.
Absolutely.
13% derivation.
From oil, yes.
So most times, well, let's leave that anyway, because we know that.
But I want you to agree that we are oil producing.
We are one of the oil producing states. There's no doubt.
Why? How come we don't know our IGR?
Remember that for you to be an oil producing state, your percent derivation is governed by the exploration made in your land. So
absolutely.
I don't know, because we have I don't know how many oil companies are in Anambra State. If you go to River State, if you go to Delta State, you will see ExxonMobil, you will see Total Energy, you will see so many of these international oil companies, but I don't know how many of them have presence here in Anambra State. But that's, by the way, that's not what we're here for. But the issue is that we are one of the oil producing states, and we have derivation as well.
Absolutely.
But that's the issue. But let's go back to issues about health. I don't know, if you are asked, what would be your take on health institution in Anambra State?
Okay, thank you very much, Tony. You know, one of the responsibilities, I'm a pharmacist. I've been a pharmacist for more than 40 years.
For more than 40 years?
Absolutely.
That's the time you graduated as a pharmacist.
And when I finished my internship.
And when you finished your internship, not FAMD.
No, FAMD is a modern thing. I did B-Farm.
Oh, B-Farm.
Then I went on to do my master's. I did my PhD and continued
in
from
pharmacy.
Yes, that's why.
You're a big woman. You have money. There's no doubt, because I know those who studied pharmacy, they have money. They have migrated from being sales representatives for so many of these pharmaceutical companies to becoming business icons.
I will accept that.
Okay, you're a big woman. Okay. I'm
not, but what I'm trying to tell you is this. I want to talk from the point of my profession.
Okay.
Health is something that I own one of the biggest community pharmacies in Port Harcourt. I won't tell you the name, but those who are watching, who know me, know.
But you will tell me later.
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
We know what is drug procurement.
Okay.
We know how to minimize it.
Okay.
Government overbloats it. There's no reason why a state cannot have drugs if you have the checks and balances. My colleagues note that too, where you can get and make. But let me tell you, in Anambra, I've not actually been to any hospital like I'm sick. But I visit, I look around in the environment. But I know there are no drugs because I talk to people. I come back to Anambra, I'm in Oka. So what is, in Igbo they say, Ulo Ogu. Why did they say Ulo Ogu? Because you're expected to have drugs. When there's no drug, it becomes an Ulo. It's no longer an Ulo Ogu. So if there are no drugs, the doctor makes his prescription. Why would the patient go outside to get the drugs and probably get the substandard ones, and whatever he was diagnosed of persists? It doesn't make sense. So the doctors, the hospitals in Anambra should be equipped. Drugs should be there. Even if it's a drug revolving fund, which is workable, has worked in so many states, that the patient pays the barest minimum with maybe 5% surcharge on the real cost of the drug. So that's what I'm saying. What is the facilities, the equipments are not there? John has said it 1,001 times. Cancer is rife in the world. So Anambra is not an isolated place. And let me tell you something. I'm a toxicologist. If you Google me in Google Scholar, I'm very visible. My work is mainly on toxicology. If your environment is polluted, your people will suffer. Environment is not only about erosion. Who checks what people, the effluents, the discharge in the air and in the water? If your environment is sick, the people become sick with all kinds of chemicals.
So what do you think John Wosu will do if he has the chance?
What he will do is that they will be regulated. I went at the back of the International Conference Center. I was there one time, and there's a factory there billowing out black smoke. I don't know what they do. Those smokes will dissipate. Anybody who comes there will be from abroad will be very apprehensive, because I know that black soot is either they are doing tar, coal tar.
Yeah, exactly.
So they are not regulated. If they tell me who is regulating them, let me know.
So he's going to set up state regulatory agency for some of these things?
It might not be. It will be part of the Ministry of Health, because everything is, or Ministry of Environment. Not that you're going to penalize people, but you tell them the best practices in the world. You know, it will not happen a day, because our people, if you go to some gutters, I'm sure where you see, people manufacture drug things and pour the dyes. You see some water, they turn greener. These are chemicals. Later they get to our aquifer and we check them, and we don't say, you say you don't smoke, you don't drink, but you have cancer. Is it proper?
So you are saying that sometimes what contribute to cancerous issues in the state, in Anambra State, in the country, may not necessarily be smoking habit or drinking habit. It could be other environmental issues.
Yes, let me also tell you, this foam they use in selling things, it has been banned in so many states. We know it leaches. There's a chemical that is used to make that foam. I can't remember the state that has banned it. If you Google it, you'll see. It leaches into this food. They used to sell abacha, all kinds of things. It has been banned.
So you are saying that you are the issue of using that kind of package for...
No, what I'm saying is that if you have people who are knowledgeable in what we are talking about,
they will regulate.
They will regulate it. They will identify it, educate the people,
and make issue of health
and bring alternative to them. Suggest alternative, because before you remove something, you educate and you suggest alternative.
You are aware that we are having more hospitals. We have about 5 new general hospitals in Anambra State. Do you think if John comes on, he will build more hospitals or equip the ones we have? What do you think he's going to do?
There's a health, there's levels of interface of the health.
Primary, secondary, tertiary, those ones.
If you equip all the ones, like the health centers, they have there, and there's a doctor there. There's referral. He refers him to the secondary one, to the tertiary one. Let's go there. Like I said, all this, when we talk about social welfare, about people who are 65 years and above, and they are suffering from a chronic, they don't need to come to Oka.
Okay.
You create a desk table for them in the local government. You take them, you profile them, put their names there, tell them when to come. If our people who are on permanent, maybe anti-diabetic, anti-hypertensive, when they come and collect their drugs, they go to their health center and see a doctor who checks and see whether they are drugs. Because what is our problem now is that so many people remain buying drugs from chemists, and you don't review their prescription. It's a killer.
Oh.
It's a killer.
And chemist is a patent medicine dealer.
Absolutely.
Who may not have the requisite knowledge in drug dispensation and prescription, but they prescribe.
They are charlatans.
But it's everywhere in the country.
Yeah, but because we have good laws, and somehow, in this Nigeria, we've gone so much ethnic.
Okay.
It's the Igbos who are the main merchants of drugs
in Nigeria. There's no doubt.
You know that very well. Even manufacturing, we have big giants like Emzor, Juhel.
We have many of them.
So
from Anambra State, anyway.
You see what I'm
from
talking
Anambra
about.
State.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that education. You educate them properly. When Dora Akunyele, may God bless her soul, was there, she tried to educate them and tell them what to do right. Maybe where to keep certain types of drugs like insulins, refrigerate them. You get what I'm saying? So this is what we do. But if they want to politicize drug in Nigeria, I don't know. Let me not go into that one because.
So you are saying that for those who have issues or worries about our medical or health institutions, they should just relax. When John comes in, that he's going to perform the magic.
What do you mean by when John comes? He will improve greatly on what we're doing.
That's what
now.
You're saying.
Like now, let me tell you, I'm a woman.
Okay.
There's no place in Nigeria where you do free cervical smear. That's where you catch early cervical cancer. I do it on my own. It's expensive.
It's expensive?
But you can subsidize.
For the Indian Anambra?
Yes.
But you're aware that we have free antenatal, postnatal, and free child delivery in Anambra State?
Absolutely. It's possible.
We have currently.
What is the spread?
In all government hospitals.
All government hospital. Maybe. I've told you something. There's women. Post childbearing age, active childbearing. You know, there's certain cancers, even breast cancers. You know those ones. You know how it kills.
So are you going to say we are going to have cancer treatment center in Anambra State?
No treatment. That diagnosis is primary before treatment.
Okay.
Catch it. You prevent it than getting it to. Maybe by the time you see the woman is stage 5, there's nothing you can do. So what I mean is that if we we decide to talk about cervical cancer. I have daughters. I have 3 daughters. I tell them, you must do it this year. Do it. It's every 5 years.
Every 5 years.
Yes.
All right. But the question is, because I've thought about some of the ongoing reforms in our health sector. You are saying John wants to improve on some of these things, and possibly
he will improve 100% plus.
So that's what he told you.
No, that's what I know.
Oh, that's what you know.
Yes.
Not because he told you.
Yeah, because I know his mindset. We talk about those things. We have a team that is talking. We are talking about what will happen. So we know. We rub minds, we debate, we argue, we say this is the best. So that we don't come the first day and we don't know what. We know everything we are going to do.
Is he going to build cancer diagnosis and treatment center in Anambra State? I remember last time Patrick Obianyo came here last week. He did say something about implementation of ConHex. That he made us understand that the implementation is not 100%, it's 60%.
Yes.
But we saw the governor approving 100% implementation some few days back. Probably possibly because he came here to say that John wants to implement 100%. The government of Anambra State implemented it some days back.
If he's, you see, it some days back, I'm happy. I hope the governor is listening. If that will push him to do that. Now, health is endless. There's training. Even my colleagues, there's training. There's what we call a clinical pharmacy. It's clinical pharmacy. That's why you have people with a FAMD. Is where you are involved in the hospital with the patient. You know, our own BFAM was like, a lot of people went and upgraded to clinical pharmacy. I'm in academic pharmacy, so maybe I don't need it. I don't even teach clinical pharmacy. What I'm saying is that if that will make it, there's training. If you don't train a staff, he doesn't become the optimal he can. Training is key. Okay, he has done it. So let him ask people what next to do to get those people you're paying this money to offer the best. You said something that John also said he will do the cancer thing. Let me tell you, it doesn't need big money. There's so many idle buildings that Anambra State have. It's for you to convert one of them to the center. It's to equip it. Train the people who are going, because if you don't train them, they will not catch those things you're looking for. The equipment has to be there. The infrastructure has to be there. Most of these machines need to be kept at a certain temperature 24/7. So you train the management, those who will man the equipment, because in terms of diagnosis, if you give me an X-ray, I might not be able to read it well.
Okay.
Somebody who is qualified, a radiologist a radiographist has to read it to be able to say, Oh, this place is clouded. I think you're having a problem here.
Okay. All right. For those of you who are joining us at this very point, we have been speaking to Professor Zelunjo Igweze. Professor Zelunjo Igweze. She's a professor of pharmacology and toxicology and director of Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization. Before we open the phone lines, I want to ask you one more question. What programs do John Wosu? What programs does he have for children and women? Most times you've thought about their quota system not being what it should be, but let's talk about children.
Okay.
Would you say that Anambra children are doing well? Are they faring well? Or do you think there are other programs he's going to bring to enhance what we have currently?
Thank you very much, Tony. I go around. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother.
I know you're a grandmother. If you don't even tell me. Yeah.
So, I have raised children and grandchildren.
Okay.
I know their needs. Not just saying we know their needs. I ran into some people. Because of my age, you can talk with people confidently. They said that ask one name with free education, but they are still paying school fees. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And now, these children, you have to put them in school. You have to make sure they are healthy. Does Anambra State have any? As a pharmacist, I know. There's certain things you can put in place. If for instance, you make it a policy that all Anambra children will be dewormed twice a year. You know what is worm? You deworm them. You have a program, you deworm them. They'll grow properly. If you don't deworm a child, go to the rural areas. Especially, you have to get into the interiors. They will have stunted growths. They won't grow to their maximum because worms are sharing the little food their parents have with them. So what I'm saying is that there's certain programs. You check them. You make sure that they are healthy. Then you advise the mothers, they'll be educated. You ask them to, Now, if you say there's a free... When you say free medical health, what does it cover? What is the coverage?
I'm aware that the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, has launched a program, the Renewed Hope Initiative, sanitary pads, 2.5 billion, where she's targeting about how many million young women or young ladies to ensure that they are covered. I think that budget covers the procurement and distribution of sanitary pads for 370,000 schoolgirls across Nigeria's 36 states and FCT, with each state receiving about 10,000 packs of pads for free distribution. That's our own program. Is that going to be what we are going to witness in Anambra State?
Pads.
That's what the First Lady is doing. So for you, it's minor.
They major in the minor things.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's a lot of young women who want to improve on their education, because once they get to secondary school, after secondary school, maybe their family begin to think about marriage.
Okay.
Maybe if my parents were not, they have the wherewithal, I wouldn't be where I am today. It doesn't mean I'm the most intelligent. I've interacted with young girls who are quite intelligent. So why don't you give such people scholarship? You don't know where the next Nobel Prize winner is going to come. So
your thought is, instead of this sanitary part of the thing, scholarship, give them education. That's what they need most.
How much is sanitary part? What were they doing before Remi Tinubu before she came on board? They were doing something, but there's something more important than food sometimes.
So would John also give scholarship to young women in Anambra State, young ladies? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Or you are saying
not
because
DEI.
We are campaigning? Is it because of campaigns? Where would he get the funds to give scholarship?
Okay, remember that John Moses has said he will give bursary.
Bursary?
Absolutely. Then you encourage them to. There's somebody, I have encouraged 2 people to get admission. I know them personally, young women. I'm interested in them. I say I'll help. I just earn minimally, but since my children are all grown, I can begin to invest on other children.
All right, let's allow.
So bursary will help people to, their parents can also, Anambra, Igbos have extended.
Bursary is more like pocket money for students. We are talking about scholarship that's paying school fees.
What do you call
school
scholarship?
Fees and pocket money? Which one is?
Do you know that school fees in federal institution is lower than that pocket money you're talking about. Living expenses is higher. Okay. You know that, Mbeki.
All right, let's quickly allow our callers and listeners to come in at this point. We're speaking with Professor Zelonjo Igweze, the Director, Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization, and she has spoken on a number of issues. She spoke on security, telling us about drones and how these things will be done. She spoke on health, and also she spoke on women. She spoke on children. So let's get her thoughts. And she has said that they are quite ready, prepared. That's the way it's been said in Igbo. They are ready, they are prepared to enforce some of these things. I've been asking the question. You can also come on with your own question or make a comment. Let's quickly call the phone line 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. And remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, coming your way every Saturday. And I'm still your honorable speaker, Tony Olisa Mbeki. Let's go straight to the phone line. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Chief Dr. Dim Tony Obona, you are blessed.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
My dear sister in the studio, you are welcome onto the platform. I am Great Dame, Ilja Patego, streaming live from Osumoro.
You're welcome.
I am just coming onto my radio, hearing a voice, which I mistook for a man. On the other hand, she is a woman in the studio. My mother, you are blessed.
Thank you very much.
You are absolutely on point as a professional. Look, we have a lot to do with regards to health. You are not a physician. You are doing your noble job as a health enforcer in the society. Welcome and keep it up. Tony, my dear brother, Anambra State, yes, you are playing an advocacy line of thoughts. Invariably, you are absolutely on point. My dear lady, woman and mother in the studio, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anambra State is a cynosure of all eyes. Soludo has done marvelously well in terms of health. There is infrastructures are there. But then, we want to see an Anambra woman, Anambra person, when he feels or she feels headache prone, will not go to the chemist. At abroad, a chemist manufactures drug. But here in Nigeria, a chemist serves all what of health program and health-related issues. That is much more prevalent.
All right.
To the citizens.
All right.
We want to do away with that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your thought this very morning. Let's go back to the phone lines. Remember, you can bring in your questions on our social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have YouTube. We are going to take some questions from these platforms. So remember, we are speaking with Professor Zelonjo Igweze. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Olisa. Afternoon.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, the professor.
Thank you.
My name is Ide Alex. So I'm calling from Onitsha.
You're welcome. Go on.
Onitsha, the commercial city of Anambra State, today is the most toxic place to visit in terms of business Like the most hostile place to visit today in terms of people coming to Onitsha to buy something. What is your government going to do about that? If we vote this government, if this John went into power, if we vote for him, can you guarantee that he will protect our vote? What are the strategic plans to protect the people's vote? We vote for him in power. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Asking the strategic plans to ensure that these votes, when cast, they are protected. I don't want to take another call from. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. Good morning. Oh, are you there? All right. I think I can barely hear you. All right, let's go and take the calls from the main line. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This is Shibika from Onitsha.
Shibika calling from Onitsha.
Yes. Okay, so what I want to say is that good morning to the guest at the studio.
Thank you.
So what I want to say is that I think it's high time that we stop this politics of sexes, because like she said that the John goes to give women 40% in this thing. But I feel like it doesn't make sense.
How?
Competence.
You are saying that everything should be based on competence, not necessarily 40%. That anybody has the competence should have the opportunity, not necessarily based on any affirmation.
Yes, that should be the utmost criteria. But I don't believe in this politics of sexes. That's just what I want to say.
All right. Let's give her space to explain more about affirmation. You've got like 3 or 4 or 5 questions. Somebody's asking how is John was going to protect the votes, or ADC protect the votes if that vote is given to them, and at the same time, what is it going to do to detoxificate our environment? You talked about the detoxification of environments and a lot of things, and somebody's saying this affirmation, it does not agree with that, so that it should be based on competence, not necessarily on any affirmation. Let's get your thoughts about some of these sentiments and thoughts by our callers.
Oh, thank you. I can't remember your names quite well, so you forgive me. On the person who was talking about the toxification of Onitsha, it's not only Onitsha, it's the entire state, because I know my environment. I see the open gutters. I'm sure you also see it. People dump all manner of chemicals, all manner of things. My dear brother, what we're going to do is there has to be people who will decide what is not good for us, and then educate people and enforce whichever laws that will protect the individuals. That's the only way we're going to do it, you know. So that's the only way we're going to do what you call, because sometimes these chemicals that people dump in gutters or throw about anywhere they deem fit is because of ignorance. They don't understand. That's why you see a man who is going to offload cement. He's not using any nose mask. That cement is getting into his lungs, he's inhaling it, and later he'll fall very sick. So this is ignorance. So when you educate them and make sure that those who ask them to do the job, give them the necessary equipment, these things will begin to come down. You also said about protecting our votes. My dear brother, we will protect our votes. ADC will protect their votes 100%. We're going to do that. And also with help of people like you. Because as a citizen, when you vote, you're supposed to stay there and protect that single vote you've cast. You're there and make sure that in your polling booth, if it is only 50 people that cast their vote, that 50 will be counted. Then you're protecting the vote. We have our agents in every polling booth in Anambra uploaded. So we're ready to work. Then the other question was the person who was saying that he doesn't believe that women should be given. My dear, I think I will say, when we say DEI, you heard me talking about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. We don't do it. It's like federal character. In Anambra, we have Don't you know we have a lot of educated people in Anambra State, men and women, capacity built, and you know that. I'm sure you have a mother, you have a town. Look around your town, you see a lot of women who are capable in doing so many things. So it's not a question of, I see a woman who cannot work as a director, or it's not even director, is getting too far, who is small. If you give them responsibility, you know that too very well. You have a mother, you have a sister. We do it with the minimal finance, and we do it to the best of our ability when we are committed.
So does it mean that women save more costs, especially when it comes to executing tax, procurement? Today we have seen women police, we've seen women army officers. Are they better off when it comes to other things men are known for?
Okay, let me ask you one question. Let somebody call and tell me that this house is owned by this woman politician, is owned by this woman politician. In River State today, you can say this house belongs to this hotel. How many of them are owned by women?
So are you saying that these hotels and these houses that belongs to politicians that we are acquired through proceeds of,
let me tell
corruption?
I want them to challenge me. The question of absolute from corruption in Nigeria, corruption has no consequence, and that's what we want to eradicate. There's no consequence. Hold us responsible in ADC. John Wilson has integrity. John Wilson is a businessman. He has earned his money. He's not looking for money.
So he has integrity?
Absolutely.
How did he make his money? One would like to know that all of a sudden, from a seminarian to a multi-billionaire, how did he transition from being an ordinary seminarian? The word ordinary is just somebody who is common to becoming a multi-billionaire.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of background information. First of all, John is an Anambra man.
From Nnewi or the Nnewi?
Nnewi people, you know what they are known for.
Yes.
John started very little. I know we like to. Anambra have billionaires. We always start big. You can name 20 billionaires in Anambra and tell about boy. Let me use that word. You think you know where he's starting from. So John started little from ICT. Maybe starting to sell one computer and went on because.
And he got government contracts.
Why? If he's capable, who will do the contract? Will it be the Chinese? If he's competent, if he works for NIMC, and he's doing the NIM data registration and he's doing it well, why will you give it to a Chinese man?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He competes for it, due process. He doesn't have a brother in central bank. And moreover, the people who own the country in terms of decision. He gets his work. He's not an Igbo man. That's why we're fighting to see whether our own will get there, so that our people, not by not being qualified, that will get what is due to us.
All right. I got that. Let's see if we can just take one more question and we take it. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my honorable speaker.
You're welcome.
My name is Maroke Shuka, calling from Onitsha.
You're welcome, Maroke Shuka.
Good morning, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, so many things to talk about. Let me just take it very brief. Talking about in education, free education. One thing I want to ask you. I hope if John win this election, he will not toe the line of this free education we are seeing in Anambra State. Because to me, I believe there is no free education in Anambra State. In as much as they are claiming there is free education, I don't see. When you have 100 schools, you give free education to 5. Is there any free education?
So are you trying to extrapolate, or you have the schools' names and then where there is no free education?
I have asked this question so many times and nobody can give you the answer.
All right, give us one or two schools, public-owned schools that...
Township Primary School in Fege, where I'm living.
Township Primary School in Fege.
Yes, they deny that this is a mission school. I told me Lafiaji, and I went to Lafiaji. My speaker, they are still paying school fees.
Okay, you are saying that they are saying that those schools are mission schools.
Yes.
But are they mission schools or government schools?
They are all government schools. This is the school I attended.
Okay, Lafiaji and then...
Township Primary School.
Township Primary School.
Yes, later they told me a guy, but that guy is too far from where I'm saying. Because I didn't check.
Okay.
So, let us be fair to ourselves. If you want to give free education, there will be no selection. You are giving it to Anambra people. There is no selection.
All
Because
right.
if you want a single school for the whole Anambra children to go, it is a fraud.
Okay. All right, we got that. Madam K. Chuka, we got that. Let's see if we can just take one more call and allow Professor Zelunjo Igweze to summarize because we are completely out of time. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning. This morning, my speaker.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah. My name is Honorable Chimubo. I come from Agluzibo.
Chumudo calling from Agluzibo.
Yeah, Chimubo, man.
All right, Gabaniru, go on.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to ask our professor, Mommy in the house. Good morning this morning.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mommy, there's something I want to say here. Please let it not be contrary to what we are saying here. But a character like you people are there before, about 40 years ago now. And Anambra is warring in, let me put it this way, in a hospital where there's nothing found there. Now, my question is, have you advised or said something about the hospital without being politicized it, or advised the government?
All right, we got your question. Because of time, we have to let you go. That these things you are. Oh, sorry, I never wanted to pick your call, but since I picked, please say something. Please, quickly, please. You're welcome. Quickly, I never wanted to pick your call.
Good morning to our guest, Professor.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for coming to us and that lecture. The importance of digital cannot be overemphasized, and for the security of this nation and for the security everywhere, there is a need for such technology. But I wonder why your principles have not demonstrated it. Must it be on the seat of power?
All right, I think we got a question. Because of time, you've got these questions. We are completely out of time. Somebody was actually asking that you have been saying all this. Why must you get into politics? Why have you not been speaking before now? Is it because you are campaigning for John Wausu that you are making all these statements? And somebody's also saying your principal has demonstrated capacity in some of the things he has said he's going to do in the past. Is it because he's a candidate of a political party? Let's get our thoughts before we run down.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just be quick with this. Number one, when you said, I want to thank the person that said there's no free education, and I totally agree.
You agree?
Let's not politicize this thing.
Okay.
We are all from Anambra. Our grandchildren are supposed to be here. I don't come from another state.
What if that person who called may not support the present government or is speaking based on political
he has given
or
you,
partisanship?
He has given you somewhere to go and verify. Go and
We
verify.
are going to allow the phone lines to allow those people to call.
Yes, but they will not call because they are paid workers. They will not. It's for me to go there personally.
And verify. We are going to verify as well.
Yeah, we are going to verify. So it's not a question of he's calling because it's politicized. Right. Then the other person said something. Has John demonstrated what? He's an ICT person. Where you will see, go to John's office and see what cameras, AI, just get into his office. Try to walk into his office. He has offices in Lagos, Abuja. He has in Sierra Leone. He has in Ghana. He has in Anambra here. He has He has 2 international offices. So when you go there, you see.
So has he been able to computerize Newi, his hometown, put CCTV cameras, ensure that Newi, his community, his town, his home country is secured with CCTV cameras? Must he do all those things in his offices?
Let me tell you. When somebody asks that, maybe I've been a pharmacist for 40 years, my dear, if you're not in government, and you know, because I want us to stop this as Anambra people or Igbos. The government don't want people to do certain things if they think it's going to impinge on what they think they are doing.
Okay.
Why is it that so many roads are not constructed? Because the government doesn't want the individuals to do it and take credit for it. Okay. So why would you punish the populace? There's something I want to say.
We're completely out of time. I want you to just summarize, make a last statement. What you want the people to do.
What I want the people to do is that somebody said when a government has been in power for a very long time, they become very lax. They don't want to do anything. Whether something is working, they make policies, they don't check on it. What am I asking? What is the fun city? What is the relevant to the woman in Atinkwo, somewhere in the interior? where you can go there, you won't. I went there, I didn't spend less than 30 naira. I'm a middle class woman. So how would it be? Why won't you use that money to do the schools in their areas and make sure the woman gets education? Was that place built for the masses or was it built for the middle class?
All right, so yeah, that's a last
So
statement.
what we're going to do is that we will use the Anambra State money to do things that will affect the electorate and makes their life better. Security, education, and the economy. And everybody will be happy. The middle class will have their own.
All right, thank you so much, Professor Zelonjo Igweze, the Director, Women Affairs, John Wosu Campaign Organization. You have spoken extensively. We have to let you go at this point. Thank you so much for your time.
Becky, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope to come here one day and talk about health, not politics.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's quickly take a moment. When we come back, we are going to introduce our second guest for the day. Remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, and it is happening here live. And then all the fire you expect, you will have it here. We'll be right back after the break.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
People of Upo and the entire Anambra State, get ready for a life-changing apostolic invasion. It's Upo Citywide Crusade, powered by Upo Christian Association, with the Restoration Apostle Johnson Suleiman, live in Anambra State. A divine awakening for signs and wonders. Come and witness the mighty miracles of God in a prophetic atmosphere like never before. Upo Citywide Crusade. Theme: the Lord, He is God. It will also feature anointed songs ministrations by Ambassador Chinyere Udoma and Minister Edwin Alex. The date is Tuesday, 28th of October at 4 p.m. and Wednesday, 29th of October 2025 at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And it will be happening live at Walter Eze Memorial Secondary School Field, former Boys Secondary School, opposite All Saints Anglican Church, Udunukofia Local Government Area of Anambra State. For inquiries, call 0903-952-1048 or 0806-297-8399. Please note that there will be free transportation to the crusade ground. Upo Citywide Crusade. Come in faith and you shall see the power of God.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire. Where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Olisa Mbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
You're welcome back. It's still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM this very lovely morning. And we are back here and we are going to really continue where we start from. Remember, we've just had the first guest and we have our second guest well seated. We have in our studio Barrister Oke Moaro. Remember Oke Moaro? Former local government chairman Idemili North. And then a prominent, at the point he was so much into PDP, but he has left PDP according to him. And at the point he was touted to be the running mate to Atiku Abubakar in that election, in the last general election. And then he has seen it all in Anambra politics. And then he was a foundation member of PDP. And also a man who saw it all and who will tell you the way it is, irrespective of whose horse is God. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Chief Barrister Oke Moaro Ike Abatete. It's my pleasure to have you this morning.
Thank you very much, Tony.
And then you dress like people of Niger Delta with this your hat, and just like somebody from Niger Delta. That's the way you are dressed.
Well, nobody has a copyright to this dress.
You are
the Igbo man is ubiquitous. We are from everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
We are from Niger Delta. We are from Southeast. We are from all over Nigeria. So we can afford to dress any way.
That's how Jonathan Goodluck dresses, even now. But I thought you were going to put on your red cap as Ika Batete. You're not putting on your red cap, you're putting a black hat.
His name is Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan. He is an Igbo man.
Okay.
Let's go ahead.
All right, let's not mind the way he dressed this morning, but then he said that Igbo man is ubiquitous, meaning that Igbo man is everywhere.
I came here as a Nigerian, a very civilized one, not as an Igbo man. I'm not coming here as an Igbo champion. I have my red cap and my Isiago and all the other ones. I use them when I attend the functions appropriate to it. This morning, I have to be at this program. I have some other occasions to attend after it. Okay. Therefore, I have to. This is what I call dressing neutral.
Oh, being neutral.
Yes.
You don't want to be partisan. Okay.
Yes.
No problem. Let's talk about this election coming up on November 8 in Anambra State. The time is approaching. Today is October 4th. So we have election in a month and few days.
Yeah.
So it is fast approaching.
Yes.
So, are you saying anything? Have you thought about the pendulum, where it will swing? Has it changed? So what are your permutations?
Well, fortunately for my friend and brother Soludo, the pendulum seemed to be static. Because despite the best efforts of those who want to be governor, they seem not to be ruffling the feathers. I've been in Anambra since the last time I came here, and I'm yet to see the other candidates go all over the place. It was only this morning that I saw some posters, but the posters is limited to probably Soludo and one other. I have not seen campaign vehicles. As a matter of fact, it was here in your studio, outside it, that I saw a branded vehicle of John Wosu. And I started asking, is this the way these guys are going to upstage the incumbent? An incumbent who had a name before he became a governor? An incumbent who has achieved much before he became a governor? An incumbent who is running on the steam of what is achieved in his first term? Is this the way all these other guys, the other parties, will get him out of the office? What message are they giving to our people? What information are they putting out there? What effort are they doing? Where is the rallies? Where is the campaign? Where are the canvassers? I can only see Soludo and his team going around, inaugurating their campaign council, moving from one ward to the other, going down to those who are going to vote in the particular polling units, targeting a certain number.
So does it mean for the fact that you've not seen doesn't mean that it does not exist? Aren't you thinking that these people are doing this thing, but maybe you may not be aware?
Listen, I'm a political strategist, and I gather information. I am not there. I didn't come back from New York to come and sit down in my house and say I'm supporting Soludo. I am back to Anambra to assist Soludo, and that is why I have been going around even the places where the security challenge is very apparent. I have gone right around the whole of Anambra State, and that is why I can appreciate what the government is doing in terms of security. Because in some places, I decide not to go with my driver, I decide to go by public transportation, or ask a friend, can you take me to this place? Before now, when you ask somebody to take you to a place like Iseke or someone say, oh boy, they send you. But now, I have seen people have taken me to the far flungs of Anambra State, to Gwibele, to Omasiago, Omasiono, to Sumo, even across the border to Hitenan or Suyitokwa, because I have some friends there. I visited that place. Before now, you dare not. In the 2021 election, we didn't do any campaign in those areas. By then, I was still the director of publicity and public affairs in the PDP campaign. We couldn't go to any of those areas. Today, like I told you the last time I was here, I said the approach Soludo is adopting with his Udogachi and Agune Chamber is the most effective way to get these criminals out of our way. And what did I tell you? I said no criminal, no armed robber or a burglar can leave his house without a rendezvous. There must be a takeoff point, there must be a returning point. Whatever equipment a robber uses to commit his offense, he must dispose of it within 2 minutes of finishing that operation, because that is the evidence you will use to prosecute him. So as a criminal law attorney, I know the mindset of the average criminals, and that was why they almost turned Anambra into a very terrible place, because they acquired swatches of land in our forest and stayed there. From there they were operating. You have what they call the Achala camp, you have the Osumu, you have the one at Agulezechuku and all those other places. But now the Udogachi team of Soludo had succeeded in wiping out these guys from their bases, and that is why you have relative peace. That is why you have relative security across the state. Because if the guys have a place where they return, I can assure you that by the time we finish this program going, those who are hiding at Nkolo Junaka or at Achala camp will say, okay, this man, you finish talking, well, come and go home. But now they are no longer there. They have been rooted out. So that is a big plus for Soludo. So what am I saying in effect? I'm telling you that having gone through Anambra State, now I have not seen that frenzy of campaign from the opposition. Soludo, as an incumbent, has things doing the campaign for him. The projects are campaigning. The civil servants who are earning money are campaigning. The traders who has tranquil atmosphere to do their business are campaigning. The town unions, the keke drivers, the bus drivers, every other person is campaigning.
All right, let me take you on some issues. I don't know, maybe we are talking about the ESN Achala camp that the Udogachi busted I think it was last week, where some people who disguise themselves as freedom fighters were nabbed, and many of them were actually decimated. But that was a particular camp in Achala, ESN. That was last week, and we saw a little boy called Small, and then his co-criminals. They were all rounded up by Udogachi. I don't know if we are referring to that. But let's talk about what happened in Oba, where Soludo had gone to campaign, and then we saw the people of Oba. They knelt down and they were singing. Bahalanyo ezebube bahalanyo ifeni na imele no wa bahala. And Soludo told them that he knew where they were heading to, because they were asking Soludo to release one of their oars, Akwa Okoko. But Soludo told them that the process has begun, that he may not interfere with the judiciary process until judiciary finishes what they are doing before he gets involved. That if he pardons him now, what it means that he has pronounced him guilty, that you can only pardon somebody who is guilty. But he has gone there to solicit for votes. Yes. And we're told that millions, over 50 million, was raised for him to help his campaign effort. But they demanded for one thing, release of Akwa Okoko. But his response, would you say it was swift? Because for me, under section 211, subsection 1, Mr. Governor can direct the Attorney General of the state to withdraw any suit, criminal suit, to discontinue. That's a constitutional provision.
We call it entering a nolle prosequi.
Yes.
But do you know the consequences of doing such an act? A nolle prosequi, properly so called, is one of the greatest power of the executive, because it is in that particular circumstance, apart from the issue of prerogative of mercy, that a governor exercises of his power of life and death. There are certain consequential considerations a governor, a political office holder, will consider before taking a decision of directing his Attorney General to enter a nolle prosequi. The interest of the masses of the people. Does the entire Anambra State people want Soludo to enter nolle for Akwa Okoko? The answer I can tell you is neither here nor there. But let me tell you something. What happened in Oba 2 days ago will tell you the type of human being, the type of man Soludo is. He is not a man that panders to sentiment. He's a very courageous man. On the face of more than 10,000 voters who are singing Bagarai, Bagarai, Soludo could have, in the usual cavalier manner of Nigerian politicians, let us this one, or a bed in hand. These voters I'm seeing here, if I do what they want, maybe they'll vote for me. No. Soludo, because he is a very consequential thinker, believes that if Akwa Okoko should be released, if Akwa Okoko should be free, the processes are there, transparent, open, fair, and credible. He has enough money to get the best of the lawyers. There are still some of my colleagues who understand the nuances of criminal jurisprudence who can go there and help Akwa Okoko. His issue is not as difficult as people think about it, because it is going to be proved beyond reasonable doubt. That is still the landmark for Nigerian judicial system. So, Soludo, understanding that he has a bigger role, he has a bigger responsibility to the majority of Anambra has 177 communities. Oba is just one of them. So if he will listen to the Oba youths who are singing for him to release Akwa Okoko because he has been good to them, mark you, what you saw in Oba tells you one thing. Akwa Okoko may be your criminal, but to Oba people, he is their son. He did well for them, and that is why they are doing what? They are clamoring for his release. There is a lesson to be learned from what has transpired. Two things. Loyalty can be purchased with blood. Whatever bad intention or bad feelings you have about Akwa Okoko, he has bought the loyalty of our people. Majority of the youth are out there with him. But you can also juxtapose it with the responsibility of His Excellency, Mr. Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, who is now representing the other 176 communities by saying the judicial process has started. The criminal prosecution is going on. Let us allow the due process of the law to take its course. I will not interfere. I will not put any pressure. If at the end of the day, the court decides and say Akwakuku should be discharged and acquitted, I do not start seeing a Soludo pressuring the Attorney General to go and file an appeal, because already with the type of support Akwa has in Oba, it means that he can be rehabilitated into a society that will accept him. But in the greater interest of justice, that court process must be expeditiously carried out and come to a conclusion, because justice delayed is justice denied.
Do you think other politicians would have been swayed by the plea of or by people to have granted the request?
Many people, I can tell you, may be swayed. Do you understand? Many people will play politics. I mean, that is what it is all about. But unfortunately for them, Soludo is not the run of the mill politician. Soludo is a man who started politics as a student unionist. The University of Nigeria. I remember when he ran for the secretary of the Students' Union, CC for secretary. We were about leaving university then, and he was running for that election. Eventually, he didn't win. He joined the MPN Youth Wing and played some pivotal role. But it didn't stop him in the university from making a first class in economics. He came out concentrated on his job as a student, had his master's degree, had his PhD, went into Nsukka. By the time he was 37 years, he was already a professor of economics, econometrics for that matter.
Okay.
So when Soludo went into politics, his template is not like the run-of-the-mill politician who panders to the sentiment and the whims of what is seen. Soludo panders to what is not seen. When I was working with him as the chairman of his campaign in 2009-2010, Soludo will come and say, Abatete, what is the strategic thrust of our movement today? We've already outlined and marshaled out what we're going to do. The question is that if we're going to 5 or 10 communities, Soludo will want you, as the chairman of that campaign, to develop a strategic trust of the message that will be given to each community based on their need. Soludo will always do a need analysis of campaign. So where he was going to Oba, I can tell you, I'm not there with him, but because it's somebody I've worked very closely with, because somebody I've known, Soludo would have gone through the entire gamut of the likely scenarios that will come out at Oba, and one of them is that plea, and he must have thought it through, because Soludo is not your man of the moment person.
All right. Having said that, when is Soludo going to Osumo or possibly Iseke to do campaign? He has gone to Abatete, your hometown.
Yes.
I saw you that very day. You were there with him, and then he has gone to Oba. He has gone to places. When is he coming to Osumo or Iseke?
Yes, Soludo will go to Osumo or Iseke when the people of Osumo or Iseke invite him.
Oh, these people invited him.
I invited him.
Oh, Abatete.
Yes,
you people invited him.
My brother Ifeanyi Bezi organized that rally for the endorsement of Soludo. Soludo doesn't just wake up in the morning.
Places he has gone, he was invited.
Yes.
Oh, but people invited him.
Of course, now. That was very clear.
So you are saying that if Osumo people invite him, he's going to come.
But let me tell you now that you have said it, and as a member of the campaign council, I'm now going to do a memo to the Director General Operations, the Director of Operations in the campaign, Dr. Alex Obiowolu, and the DG SSG. I'll do them a memo and tell them of the strategic importance of our going to Osumo, Mbosi, Iseke, and some of those other areas, because the optics will not be right if we don't go there.
Yeah.
It will mean that we are afraid. And we are not. So I'm going to do a memo. And that part of that memo is this adumbration I'm doing here in this studio. Because I believe that some of them are going to hear this my submission, and some of them will receive it after the interview must have concluded and gone viral. Yeah. They will see it, and we will be able to convince Oludo why we must go to Osumo and go to Iseke and go to Mbosi and go to all those nearby communities where we were not able to campaign in 2021.
All right, having said that, remember you are listening to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. We have Chief Barrister Oke Mwaro Ike Abatete in our studio this very morning. And you said something that you don't see anybody campaigning against Oludo, that we have APC, we have a Labour Party, we have ADC, but for you, they are not campaigning.
They're not.
So what do you think they're doing?
Well, you see, a silent dog is usually a very dangerous one.
Okay.
He can bite you at a very dangerous spot.
Okay.
So, as far as I'm concerned, for those of us who understand this business,
okay,
we must redouble our efforts in our anti-rigging measures. Because those who are not campaigning, who do not look at the people as the vehicle through which to get the power, there are some other vehicles they want to use.
So they may not use the conventional vehicle, they may use unconventional.
Why would they use the conventional?
So you were part of those that brought Ngige in 2003. Ngige was not campaigning. At that point, P2B was campaigning under ABGA. We saw Peter's poster. In fact, there was a poster I saw about P2B where he said that insecurity will be fought with not barrels of gun, but with barrels of books. Yeah. Using education, using employment to fight insecurity. In fact, we saw more than 15 posters of P2B then addressing certain issues. I did not see that of Ngige. And then before you know it, some days to the election, I saw Ngige's picture. In fact, that poster was not even clear. But Ngige was declared the winner by INEC. Is that what you think some parties are doing? Because you are part of those that brought Ngige when he never campaigned, and you people rigged P2B out and brought Ngige.
Let me clarify one point.
Okay, please.
I joined Ngige on a rescue mission. I was never part of his campaign.
Okay.
In 2003. You forgot the fact that I was one of those that formed ABGA, that ran for governor on the platform of ABGA.
Okay.
And Peter Obi was given the ABGA ticket without a free and fair contest. And some of us said, no, we cannot be suffering this in PDP and come here and ABGA again. Somebody will just go and do it.
Okay.
Let them continue. Okay?
Yeah.
And like you rightly said, Ngige was not campaigning because he had his game and his everything cut out for him. They had the police, they had the INEC, they have the men of timber and caliber in Anambra State, the money, the class, the political class with them. So it was very easy for them. At the end of the voting, which was actually championed by the church, P2B's election in 2003 was championed by the church and all the other religious groups. They admonished the people, go out there and vote. The people went out and voted. They voted, but they didn't stay back to protect those votes. The only thing that saved Peter was the animosity and the bitterness that developed between Ngige and
the Godfather
Obasanjo.
Okay.
Yes. No. You see, when people try to credit Christian Oba with some supernatural powers and all this, no. Those of us who were inside.
So what was the problem between Ngige and Obasanjo at that time?
The problem between Ngige and Obasanjo is that Ngige is a very tough man. He told Obasanjo to his face, when you are talking and saying that my election is rigged, this election result, your own and my own were written on the same table. So why don't you?
Ngige told Obasanjo that his own election result and his own election result
on the same table. So you should not try and mess with him. Obasanjo said, okay, but I'm not. Nobody is challenging me in court now. They're challenging you. Let's go and see. At the end of the day, Ngige was
Removed.
after 3 years strenuous battle. And that was when, that thing was the first time I saw the power of the state bearing down on the judiciary. You and I probably believed and said that Peter won because he campaigned. But I can tell you that the evidence to sustain the petition was not available.
Or the evidence to sustain the petition Peter filed was not available. So what made Peter? What was the reason?
I tell you that was the state pressure.
Oh, Obasanjo pressured the judiciary to pronounce Peter Obi.
They were pressured. There was one judge, the chairman of that tribunal, who was called Nabaruma. He's from Borno State.
Borno State.
They are the people who really did the dirty job. But I can tell you one thing. My friend, Onichi Bazu, God bless him, he's a guru. He understands the electoral jurisprudence as if he is a teacher of that subject. When he took over from Anna,
Chuksana.
No, Nathaniel Anna.
Oshibondo.
As the lead counsel for Peter Obi, Onichi changed the dynamics and used a different strategy towards achieving the result. If it was a conventional proof that he who asserts
must prove,
no way.
There was no evidence. These things were not available. And he said that the issue was as a result of the disagreement between Obasanjo and Ngige.
So the body language of the people in Abuja agreed with the perception of the masses here, and the judge decided to play to the side of the gallery where the popularity is there. But you cannot remove the factor of Onichi Bazu.
All right, we cannot remove that. So you meant that PDP, they wrote the results.
I'm not telling you that because I wasn't there.
But you said they wrote the results.
That was what Ngige told Obasanjo.
That the result
was written in the same table.
His own was written.
Obasanjo's own was written.
So are you saying that there are people who are preparing to write results in this coming election?
Well, in Apga.
Since they are not campaigning according to you.
In Apga, we said, okay,
okay.
Nobody, you can take this to the bank. Nobody is going to write an election result.
In Anambra State?
In Anambra State, where the likes of us are against it. You can write it when we decide to look the other way. But now that all of us are there and insisting for very strategic reasons that Soludo must complete 4 more years, then you see why that election result cannot be otherwise. Whatever it is done at the polling unit will be the result that will be counted.
We know before now the results were written in hotels, but now people have decided to take this writing of results to their homes. I saw 2 different memos directed to hotel managers. I don't know how true these things could be, but I know it could be part of the propaganda. One from APC, one from ABGA, directing the hotel managers that these hotels have been booked from 4th of November till the 8th of November. So booking all the I don't know if it was part of the propaganda, but these things can be faked. But the point remains that we know very well that these results are before now written in hotel rooms, but the hotels owners are now trying to mortgage their hotels to whoever they wish to mortgage it to. Don't you think that those who still want to write the result, even if you take away the hotels from them, they can still take it to their homes and write the results?
You see, sometimes I don't know where you guys get this your information on this postulations you put forward. The situation on ground now is completely different from what was happening. The Electoral Act that we are using today is completely different Electoral Act than the one that was used in 2003, used in 2010. You are now talking about an Electoral Act that mandates the POs to do accreditation electronically. Once you put your finger there, your biometrics reads, and the machine counts.
Yeah.
At the end of the accreditation, This thing is now posted on the IREV.
Yeah.
Okay?
You can go to court.
It's not a matter of...
That's the trend now. The trend now is go to court.
Let me tell you something. You go to court is a very barbaric language. It's supposed to be a civil thing. But when you say go to court with the intention of bribing the judges, you are doing very great dishonor and disservice to the institution of judiciary.
But the ABGA accused the APC in the last by-election that the candidate of APC for governorship election stampeded some polling clerks and then also polling POs and polling officers.
Yes.
Where he, according to the allegation, it was reportedly that the allegation, according to some reports, promised to give them 20 million if they fail to take, they will not go home alive, where he intended to substitute the result written with the ones they have. He just swap these two results and then take it to the collection center where they will be collected. But it happened that the information got, according to the allegation, the information got to the ABGA where they came there to see how to rescue these people. But was that true, or did it happen, or I don't know?
Tony, there is an Igbo adage that says, Ago Nana de Buegu. The lion and the ground conspires to steal the goat.
Okay.
Whatever you saw that happened, whatever allegation that you saw in the public space, there is no smoke without fire, and there is no fire without smoke. There may be some tissues of truth in those allegations, but I can tell you, it is now much more difficult to write the election. You know, we see what the summation you're giving. Somebody wrote results somewhere, now came to the polling units to swap. Assuming you swap it with that one you have there, and you go to court,
it's collected and the person is declared winner, and the person tells you go to court.
So if he tells you go to court, remember that we've gone to court and people has gone to court. I have won. After all, Peter will be won in court.
It will take time.
Adan Soshomole won in court.
That was then. Judiciary is no more what it is.
That
used to be.
That is Olisa Mbeki. We want to believe that the judiciary is still...
Some of these people who are election riggers do tell people to their face, go to court.
But I can tell you something. They will eat the humble pie.
All right,
there are still men and women in the judiciary who can look at those people in the eye and tell them, go to hell.
All right, let's ask you one more question before we open the phone lines. Has Soludo performed? Because you say that his performances, these things are campaigning for him even without him knowing. And do you think he has done what any governor in the history of Anambra State has not done? Has he truly performed in health, in education? You thought about security, so I'm going to obey that very one. In agriculture, in environment, in ICT, has he done what has not been done? I know most times they read these. The stats.
The Anambra people are not extraterrestrial. They are not extraterrestrial. We are human beings. We are ordinary people. Whether Soludo has done what nobody has done is still a moot point. But what I can tell you is that Soludo has performed to the optimum. The only thing that is holding Soludo down at the moment is the time. You see, a first-time governor has a lot of constraints because there are certain decisions you want to take. You remember there's going to be an election. You will be very careful, because when you step on toes that you ought not to have stepped on, the consequences can be very dire. So for me and for majority of people of Anambra State, Soludo has done reasonably well in all the spheres of our public life.
You know, someone was saying the free education is not something that is obtainable in Lafiaji and Fege Primary School.
You see, talk is cheap.
Oh.
But Lafiaji is there in Fege. Township School is in Fege. Tony Mbeki, Olisa Mbeki, can drive down after this program and go and interview some people in Fege, and you hear people telling you that person is what he's saying is of his imagination. But I don't brush aside such things because our people are very, very bad. Some people who are operating the schools there may, out of their own selfishness, decide to collect money by subterfuge. You will find out that they will not be collecting school fees, but they will create some levies and things that will make it to a discerning mind believe that the education is not free. That's what's going on.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Let's quickly open the phone lines. We have many minutes to go. We just have roughly about 30 minutes to spend here. And then how are we going to do it? 30 minutes, that's what we've got. How are we going to share this time? We've given our guests his own time. It's now time to give you our listeners, our callers, parliamentarians. Let's give you your own time, but you have to make it so brief. You have just 30 seconds for you to make your submission. 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. Remember, this is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. Let's go straight to the phone lines. I have many of you who are calling already. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I am Great Dame.
Ezia Fakego, you have called before. I will give you the grace to just make a statement, and that will be that.
Thank you very much.
You've called before. You don't allow two-time callers.
Thank you.
I know when you were the chairman of your local government, you won Anambra State best local government chairman.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being in the studio.
Thank you.
You say, telling me that Osumogu people will come to beg the governor to come to their aid.
That is not what I said.
Wrong.
He didn't say that. He said that most places governor has visited, they invited him. That's what he said. Not begging.
We cannot invite the governor, who is our father, to know that we are suffering.
But the governor knows. What I'm saying, he is making it. He made a statement. He said, "Will governor go to Osumogu to campaign?" If you're from Osumogu, my brother, listen. If you're from Osumogu, and the governor now goes to Osumogu for campaign, and you are shared in Onitsha, who is he going to campaign to? That is why it becomes incumbent for those from that area to say, Mr. Governor, you've been to Abatete, you've been to Oba, you've been to Obosi, you're going to Ogidi the other day. You must come to our place and see for your eyes, see for yourself. That is the essence of it.
I think the disagreement is he is saying that Soludo is the father, so that he doesn't need invitation. He can also make arrangement to visit Osumo.
Definitely. But
that's what he's trying to say.
But the fact still remains that there are people from Osumo
that will be there.
Who are members.
I'm also from Osumo.
Yeah, who are members of APGA.
Yes.
They can.
The stakeholders.
The stakeholders. They will tell the governor.
All right, let's go and pick this. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes, good morning. This is Mr. John.
Mr. John, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome. Quickly, you have 30 seconds because of time.
Yes, my submission is about this government school of Fete. It's true that our governor says that we will all go on free education, but I must tell you, not to keep the Onitsha here. But to tell someone that, like the way our honorable says that, tell someone to fake it. Send someone to GTC Onitsha to observe what is there.
GTC Onitsha.
That place, that environment is not good for kids to stay and study. Just go and study by yourself.
All right, you're talking about environment, not the other side of it.
They say yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
And moreover, what they say is free education. The level they create, just like our honorable said, the level they create, the school uniform, you must buy from school, this and that, the matches, this one. They mandate you to buy from school with their own price, not that you buy at home, which is and come, just buy from them.
All right, I understand that, saying that the school uniform and some of these things, they ask you to buy from them, not necessarily fees, that they have school uniform, they have market where they ask you to buy from the school and possibly the price they have set for those things.
The most important thing is the whistle blowing they are giving now.
Okay.
They've blown the whistle. The minister, the commissioner for education and local government chairman will now know that this thing is happening, they will go there and stop it.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Remember, this is Crossfire. Everything is being crossed this morning. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
A wonderful morning to you, Dr. Tony.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
I'll get in the studio. I greet you.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes. Voice of Wisdom starts from Asaba.
You're welcome. Wisdom, sir, calling from Asaba. Let's hear you.
Okay, you have been inviting different people to the studio, and most especially you have invited the candidate of the ADC. I don't know if it's going to be possible to invite Soludo to the studio so that he can come here, talk to us, so that we can hear his talk.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you so much.
We love him.
All right. Thank you so much. Saying that he would like to hear from Soludo, talking to the people right here in the studio. Good morning. We are going to allow you to react to that later on. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
My speaker, Tony Mbeki.
It's good to have you.
Thank you, my brother.
The voice of our Bigrichi Sokoe from our racial kingdom.
You're welcome.
Of truth, there are free education. In my town, a community, already central school, there are no school fee there. In those who put their children in the private school, have started withdrawing their children to government school. In Onitsha, where my daughter they live, the men there went to school free. But the God cannot buy you uniform. They will give you back into first class and other things. Coming to what you say, my dear brother, you have said it all. I love to hear you. There are no competitor in this election. Believe me. Because to that has performed very well. Has performed giving others. Let us give him a chance again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you. You're welcome.
Good morning, my brother.
Darine, I neck and again.
And many of us, election,
All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You got a point. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning, my speaker.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you, my brother.
From Onitsha.
You're welcome.
My speaker. You mentioned that the governor was invited. That was the argument with the demand I come for some more. I'm asking, is it the duty of the community to ask to go and campaign for the environment? I don't think.
All right, you will respond to that. You asked a very important question. Is it the duty of the community to ask governor to come to their community to campaign?
Okay. My next question is not other streets to come to the studio and dismiss people's statement. I'm telling you, Mr. Speaker, go to Nubete Primary School. That is Court Road. Go to Odoroba. That's Satani. Am I right? These are government schools. And inquire about this free education. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Because there's no way you can be coming on.
All right. Remember, there were 3 principals that were relieved of their appointment when they were doing what I guess said here, that sometimes out of their own mischievousness, design things to discredit what government is doing, and many of them through whistleblowing were caught and they were dismissed. And I remember somebody at Awada or primary school or Awada secondary school was doing certain things, and some of them were also suspended indefinitely and some were dismissed. So the human factor in some of these things. So we understand, but you are saying that we can also make inquiry and put these people on their toes.
Yes, and so this will be taken out after the citizens. The government effort will not be wasted. And finally, I hope he's working on the security outfit
All right, because of time, we have to let you go. Let's take this one. Good morning. Remember, you have 30 seconds. Good morning. You're welcome to Crossfire. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
There's something I want to ask the guests in the house.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Honorable Chimubu, I come from Agruzibo.
I think you have called earlier on. We are not allowing to.
Yes, just only one question.
Only one question, please.
Yes,
please,
sir.
you do us this favor. Don't call twice because of those who are listening. I would want to call.
Okay, no problem. So I just want to ask that this is part of the town that doesn't have a primary school, government primary school. What is the governor going to do about it?
Town that has no primary school. Is there any town in another state that has no primary school? I doubt.
Yes.
I doubt.
Like in Agruzibo here, we don't have a government primary school.
Government primary school, Agluzibo.
Yes, exactly.
But we know there is government secondary school in Agluzibo. You're saying that there is no primary. I'll verify this. I'll verify anyway. Thank you so much. I don't know if we can say. Okay, let's see if we can just take this one and then probably conclude. Allow it time to also conclude with that. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Hello.
You're welcome. Where are you calling from? Your name?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you hearing me?
We can hear you. Please go on.
Hello.
Please call back. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yeah, good morning.
You're welcome.
Doctor,
You're welcome.
and the guest in the building. My name is Udala from Ghana.
Thank
From
you.
Umurere.
Okay, please go on. Quickly.
First of all, I want to commend the governor for his tremendous job in the state. However, I want to also advise him to, during this campaign, I will say that he hasn't lived to expectation. The way he takes on his opponents, personally, I don't think it tells well. There's a way to do these things. You must necessarily reply to them. You can even apportion some people to your advisors and etc. But he does that from them. I don't think it's well. Then, about education, you see, there's no thing saying that education is existing in Ambara, but I have my reservation. It is about the education system generally. I think.
Remember, we don't have much time. We have to.
Like it or not, decay in that system. When I've mentioned that, I talk about the basic amenities and the infrastructure. That system, I don't think it has been handled very well.
All right.
There's no thing saying, like I said, education. But what about the other aspect of it? I could remember that.
All right, thank you so much. We have to let you go. We are completely out of time. We have to manage our time. Ika Bachete, you've got so many questions before your next. Start anywhere you can, please.
Well, let me start with the issue of the governor going on community tours. The governors are already embarking on those campaigns and going on all the communities. But why do I say that communities should invite him if they so wish? Because in politics and in anything one does, you do not go to preach Catholicism to the Pope. You don't. The Pope is already a Catholic. So communities that are already in favor of Soludo, who are giving him support, who have expressed the way that this is our governor, and there's no need for the governor to waste time going to those areas. But those who still have pockets of resistance that people from the area are not supporting, that is the job of people in the campaign.
You are speaking as a campaign strategist
Yes.
now. Because many people do not understand the campaign strategy. So you are trying to let them know how these things are done.
Yes, because the governor cannot just wake up in the morning and start driving.
And even the opposition that have gone to some places to campaign, they were stakeholders that made it possible for them to come there.
Definitely, because there is something at stake.
Okay.
And this education something, you can understand where most of our callers are coming from. The governor and the government should put up a strict implementation strategy to supervise what is going on in the schools. And secondly, those schools where we are tasking, where we are proposing, where we are suggesting that is school, there must be the atmosphere there will be comparable to at least the private schools that are around.
All right.
The public schools should be made to be up to the standards.
All right.
So that when they say it's free, education.
It's definitely
they
free.
understand what is free.
All right, and then we have our responsibility as media for those who say they have paid one thing or the other. Please, if you can forward the receipt of whatever you paid to our social media platforms. We have Facebook, we have YouTube. Please go to our social media Facebook and forward receipt of whatever you have paid to somebody's school so that we can take it further. I don't know if I can take comments from Facebook because our time is actually up. I don't know, we have just few comments there, and I can tell you Don Proper J, Obina Moba, SP Sportsian, also Francis Omega, we appreciate your comments. I may not go on to read some of these comments because time is not our side. Thank you so much, Iko Bosi, Ika Batete, because I know there is Iko Bosi. Let me not put both of you at loggerhead. I know both of you are friends. Ika Batete, thank you so much for your time. Chief Barrister Okemara. It's not easy, and then you got a message so short, but you are here. Thank you so much for gracing our invitation. This time around, we invited you and you came. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I remember also, we also invited other guests and they also came. We must also appreciate all the guests. We keep inviting them and they keep coming. And that's much we're going to take on Crossfire this very lovely Saturday morning on Udala 104.7 FM. We are going to do same next week. You have to catch up a time with us. My name is Tony Olisa Mbeki, the Honorable Speaker. Do have a wonderful weekend.